I did what was it? A video about a series of videos about improvising. If this stuff is appealing to you, go ahead and check those out. I've got a bunch of videos on soloing. And one of the things that I talked about in the improvising is something that I want to talk about now. And that is kind of overall phrasing, which is the way you have to look at it is the guitar is an instrument just like the voice. The voice is an instrument that mankind came to this earth pre-equipped with. And he realized that by changing the fluctuation, the pitch, and the modulation, instead of just talking, he could talk like this, right? He could do different things with it. And it could sound quite lovely. And so the guitar, the way I look at it is it's a tool. Harmonica is a tool, saxophone, all of these instruments are tools and just different, they have different sounds, but they really go back to the basic ideas of the voice. And I took choir lessons for a long time, and it took years for this to dawn on me, but it's true. So it's no different. The same rules kind of apply if you want to look at it that way. So the reason I bring this up is because if you and me were having a conversation, let's say I asked you a question. I'd say, hey, how are you doing? I go up on the end. And you'd say, pretty good, right? I mean, there's so many different things that can fit in. You can answer any way that you want. But there's this variation. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. Or I'm doing good. Or pretty sweet, you know? The guitar, like singing, and is just like a speech. We're talking to one another. Music is talking to people even if they don't understand music, even if they just listen to it. No different. And there are no rules to this because you can ask a question musically and then you can answer it. And you can do it, you can ask a question with a high note going up or low note going down. And you can answer it in either way. Point is, guitar is a conversation. Chords are, and so are the notes. All music is. And I know that I've told some people about this, and it seemed to help them out a lot. Let me give you an example. I'm going to go ahead and ask a question. There was the question, or there was the answer. Question. Have you any pies today? No, I don't. Go off, right? But anyways, that's the idea. We've got all this great stuff going on. So that is an overall sense of accents and phrasing, rather. That's like true phrasing. So the other stuff that I was talking about, the note arrangements, the timing and rhythm, and the accents are the little things that go in under this big formation of phrasing, which is, of course, right? So you notice that it's really playful. The guitar is really talking, and if you really take that into consideration, there's no doubt in my mind you can come up with some kick-ass guitar solos or songs in general. Because if you listen to the coolest guitar players that are out there, the really famous ones that everyone adores, listen to Paul Gilbert, for instance. The little phrasing that I'm talking about that he does, the timing, the accents, and the arrangement of notes is beautiful, but also overall it leads to this incredible conversation that's going on. It just keeps pulling you along, and it grows and it grows and it grows. And it can be overwhelming for people because it can be big and it can be small. So for instance, you could do a guitar solo that's completely very slow. You can also do one that's completely very fast. But it might just be more interesting if you have certain parts that are slow, certain parts that pick up, and certain parts that just escalate. It's like a movie. I studied filmmaking my whole life and worked on movies. What you learn in filmmaking when you're writing a screenplay is there are 3 acts. You have your beginning, which sets up the characters and the situation. You have your middle part, which is where an event happens. It puts a character in a place where they have to make some tough decisions. It's really the highlight of the movie. And then you have the climax, how it concludes, everything builds up. Music, in my opinion, should be the same way, but it works because that's why soundtracks can be so killer with certain movies, because they're going with the story. So tell a story with your guitar. Take everything that I'm telling you into account. Really take the time to break this down and think about it. You're not going to get this overnight. I'm sorry, but that's also the beauty in it, is that this is an ongoing learning thing, and there's a lot of joy in that. It's never ending. It will always bestow wonderful gifts upon you. But as long as you're aware of these things, you can develop the most incredible guitar style for your playing. Alright, this is probably way too long already, but I hope that within the short amount of time that I had, that I really revealed some stuff to you. Sorry about my out of tune string, sorry about my hands not being warmed up, but I think that hopefully maybe I delivered some cool information, some key points that you never considered before. So best of luck to your playing, keep rocking.